Alright, what up? I just played this game and I figured, it's a nice little, I don't know, miniature is not quite the right word, but I just wanted to kind of showcase how, I think stupid, how easy and strong Ottoman is, and this kind of foolproof strategy that is very well, one, strong and versatile and adaptable and etc. So I'm playing the Ottomans here up in the northeast of the map in the color teal. My name is 5 Envoys equals 2 Mamelukes, which is true if you have Greatcoats and Pioneers. And I was playing Dutch earlier and then I quit because Dutch is kind of hard to play. And Otto is really easy. So I'm not necessarily one to always take up a challenge. So I decided to play some Ottomans today. Using this strategy, I'm going to showcase today. I think I've breached 2k elo with it a couple times. Pretty much sending the exact same 3 cards every single game, no matter what I'm up against. So for those of you wondering, the card order is 3 villagers, capitalism, 5 villagers. And I always start with the stable. This may be map dependent. Maybe if I have 2 TPs behind my base, I want to go stagecoach, etc. But I'll talk more about the strat here. Just kind of age 1 stuff. So we aren't the champions. This is Dictator playing against Conquer. Of course I open trading post and mosque and get my house, and I didn't see that this wood treasure was here. And I went for the 105 XP because it's impractical to kite this, to spend enough time on this treasure in age 1 to get it. And even if you kite all the hippos down, you're not, you may get it in time before you send your second age 1 card. But I thought 105 XP is a lot faster to get. That'll expedite my capitalism shipment that much more. And then I came down here to make sure that my opponent wasn't kiting all these hippos down and taking that in age 1. But by and large, with this strategy, playing the Ottomans, we've already clicked up. You age so fast that you're going to get delis out, the Hussar unit, quite early, and you can use that to take some of these high value treasures that you identify in age 1 before your opponent can get units out. So Conqueror's done 14 market start, got his hunting dogs, no trading post, and he's kiting down 100 XP of his own. And at this time I decided to take the treasure because I know that my opponent is aging right now, and if you don't build a trading post to start, typically you want to add it in transition. So I figure it's pretty safe for me to kite this treasure in transition, and then with my delis I can target 190 XP. So in transition, I've put nearly all of my villagers on wood to build a market, get hunting dogs, and chop for steel traps. And I aged with 400 wood, which I used to build a stable and 2 houses. Typically the order I go is I want to try to get that stable down ASAP. And of course I send 5 bills first. I'm kind of slow today. I get the stable and then I get steel traps and then I build the 2 houses. Just because I really prioritize getting units out as fast as I can. And I take a crack shot at this because I know that my delis are gonna arrive here before my opponent can really take this treasure. Now, after 5 villagers, you have 2 options. You can either send 700 coin straight away to go age 3, or if you scout any age 2 pressure, or forward base, I'll send 700 wood after 5 vills, build an artillery foundry and or barracks, get some houses, etc. And if I'm playing against a matchup that I think is going to play in H2 a bit, I'll choose a different deck which has 600 wood and 600 coin in it as well. But even then, 5 vil, 700 wood, 700 coin, kind of defensive semi-FF with some Abus guns is quite strong. And the reason I'll open delis versus absolutely everything, you can see I'm training in a mom. I'll talk about that here in a second. But delis are very versatile, and they're aided by the Ottomans' unique Minutemen, which are the only Minutemen in the game for some reason to bonus versus heavy infantry. Now you can see I'm pulling back the low HP deli, which is getting targeted by the TC fire, and I'm causing some idle time here. And I'm going to send these low HP delis back to be healed up by the Imam. And I think that this is particularly strong. And we can see its effect later, but delis are kind of a higher DPS but lower health version of the Hussar. So they don't take TC shots real well, but they tank enough of them. And so I'm causing a bunch of idle time, as you can see. If we hop on over to Conqueror's Perspective, I'm even delaying his age up. And I'm doing this without actually losing any delis. So, behind all this, I'm gathering uninhibited. You can see I've already clicked up to age 3. And since I got so many XP treasures in age 1, I'm able to send 700 wood afterwards, age slow, and still have a shipment available in age 3. I often like aging slow with this strategy and shipping 700 wood in transition if I have enough XP. Simply because, 4 delis or 4 Abus I think are just a lot of value. In this game I am aging up with 4 delis, and we can see the healing rate on these guys is really quite fast. And I'm not really using these units for anything right now. I'm just getting them up to full health so that I can upgrade them to veteran and use them later. And once I got 3 to full health, I'm going to separate those off because I want to try to catch his age up TC wagon, or force it into a bad position. And I just take a gamble that he's going to send it to this TC. Once I have another one healed up, I send him down south, because I want to see if he'll place, there's a gold mine down here, I want to see if he'll place his TC there. But right away I scout the placement of this town center. And a while back I saw this villager shoot this hunt and it was dead in the fog of war, so I pick up a villager kill for that. But just like that, I trained 5 delis in H2 and they all became very low HP, and now they're all full HP. So your first card in H3 is obviously going to differ depending on what's going on. 1k wood is of course the greedier route, and I send it. I sent it because I guess I felt like being greedy, which maybe isn't the best response to Portuguese, who can probably greed better than Otto. But I knew I wanted to upgrade these delis to vet, and I want to get vet Abus guns, and I built the town center right away with the 700 wood I shipped in H2. And so I thought that 1k wood followed by unit shipment would give me a pretty decent timing still, with 2 TCs in the background. We can see I'm researching the veterancy upgrades here. But yeah, a lot of times shipping units first makes sense. And a lot of times that'll be 5 cav archers. Maybe I'm afraid of my opponent doing an H2 timing. But cav archers are very strong defensive units because they have the melee resist. It's a little different than dragoons, which have range resist, which are better. It's sustaining damage from light infantry, but the cav archers are very strong defensively to just kind of soak damage from melee units. And here I'm being honestly quite sloppy. This is really bad of me. I had the units on the way. I have the delis. I could have just gone in, and I will soon, but that was some sloppy kind of unit control there. I lost 2 Abus for free, but then he lost a Cassador and a Dragoon for a Villager, so isn't the worst trade in the world. But at this point I have 10 Abus, 9 Cav Archers, and 9 Veteran Delis, all full HP, and this is just the 5 from training them in age 2 and the 4 from the age up. So I decide I want to go. He has a Cassador advantage on my Abus. He can one-shot my Abus, and I don't really like that. So I just decide to kind of go in here. And it's kind of difficult trying to get my Abus guns to catch up. I'm trying to target Dragoons with the Cav Archers, and of course target Dragoons with the Abus guns. Meanwhile, the Deli are quite strong units because they have 1.2 rate of fire, which is faster than 1.5 rate of fire for a typical Hussar or hand cavalry unit. So what that means is they're just snaring more frequently, and it's harder to break the snare. So they can be quite valuable units to upgrade to veterancy, and 3-unit compositions can be quite strong. So, as I mentioned, after 1K wood, I sent a unit shipment for a kind of timing. And now I'm sending Abus Combat because I just cleaned up his army. I cleaned up all of his Cassadors. And Abus Combat is such a strong card. It's a new card. These upgrades, you used to have to send 2 cards in order to get the benefits here, but to consolidate those upgrades into a single home city card is just very, very strong. And by the way, quick note, I scouted that he sent the 1K coin the 1K coin to that TC, and I should have idled it, but I was already sieging the barracks, and I just didn't want to be indecisive. But here I'm just pull tricking my units. I have 2 Delis left alive. I don't really intend on making more, but I just want to kind of keep them alive for raiding, but they felt important to bring back there to kind of body block and break the snare here. And I'm a bit scared of all the hand cav he's showing right now, so I'm sending Cav Combat. But I just decided to, another candidate instead of Abus Combat would be to send 1K coin and just kind of mass more, but I only have 1 artillery foundry and 1 stable, and with good macro, I'm not really struggling to get full batches out. This one, maybe a bit of an exception. I got 4 units of each, or maybe that's typical, but it just felt, there's just so much value in this card, and after I cleaned up all of his Cassadors, it kind of cements that I'll always have an advantage in the skirm war. And just behind this, making a lot of Cav Archers, and Abus Cav Archers are such a strong comp, because the Abus guns are so strong. They got this 3.5 or 3.0 rate of fire buff, which just makes them so much easier to use. And in addition to the consolidated combat card, they still have 20% HP card in age 2. In late game, they still benefit from all of the gunpowder advanced arsenal upgrades. So, very strong unit. And like I said, Cav Archers honestly synergize really well with this composition because you can put them in front to soak the melee Cav damage. And your Abus guns, on account of doing siege damage instead of your typical range damage, will bite through this 20% range resist of hussars. And so what I'm saying are, Abus guns are disproportionately good at DPSing down their cavalry as opposed to traditional units like skirmishers, Cassadors. So I just pole tricked those Abus for a long time. I wish I could actually kind of go back because that was kind of a disgusting pole trick. But if you just keep making a ton of cav archers, it makes it really easy to pull trick. And I call Minutemen to snare the Hussar even before I flip my formation, drag box, put the cav archers in front, and just start DPSing everything down. I even had a few villagers on this mine tank some shots, and I saved them and put them in the TC at low HP. So that's just an example of how flippin' easy this Civ is to play and how strong it is. I mean, it really is almost brain dead. 3-vil capitalism, 5-vil. Do a deli semi or start deli and ship wood and coin and make units. And heal units. It's when you're idling under an enemy's town center with your delis, definitely try to pull back the low HP ones. And your mom only costs 115 food. It's, I think, one of the cheaper priest units in the game, because food is such a fast gathering resource. And the healing rates are so fast on DE that you almost don't even trade anything for all that idle time because you don't lose any units. And you don't lose any HP, you just heal it all back. And you can think, 115 food a mom, if it heals even one deli, it's paid off. You heal them all up and you're just getting insane value. It's like you've materialized, 400 food out of thin air. So that's pretty cool, I think. It's a little nuance that I think makes this strat, that much stronger. But, if we look at the military pops, like I said, a little sloppy here, me losing some units when I didn't need to. But, not losing any of those cav and H2 and healing them up, give me a pretty decent timing. It's not the biggest, military timing in the world, no, because I'm going 1k wood 3 TCs behind this. But it's port, and port takes a while to get going themselves. And so I was able to just get a really good trade there. And this final fight is really funny with all the pole tricking. I really don't lose that many units. 6 of these units lost are Minutemen, right? So I only lose, 4 units, 3 or 4 units. But like I said, maybe the game plan to play greedy versus port isn't maybe the best idea. Maybe applying some earlier pressure. Maybe shipping some 2 Falcons, while I'm heavy on delis and have some Abus guns to kind of deal with the potential 3 organ card. Could have been good, but, I'm getting outgathered by a lot. But my military is just that much stronger, honestly. Villager pops 65 to 46. At 15 minutes into the game, 20 vils down to port really isn't that bad. As your Ottomans, of course your villagers are free. So yeah, that was just a quick little game that kind of showed how powerful 3-vil capitalism, 5-vil semi-FF can be, and how much value there is in saving your low HP H2 hand cav units and healing them up. Thanks for watching.